dancing on my words on the edge of sombrero. The gringos explodes, yes, the cockatoy. Kill wagons with a glance from the people of Illinois. A mic stored in underwear drawers of my...
Hello, excuse me, Bev here. That woke you up, I hope, this morning. I hope, give you a bit of a beat. It's Monday morning, I'm looking outside of my window and there's some big black clouds coming over. However, that should not make you feel depressed or down. Look at it as a challenge to how you get to stay dry today. Today I wanted to talk to you about my management team. And doesn't that sound grand? But I'm not talking about a paid management team. I'm not a star with stylists and managers and all the rest around it. It's those people I refer to when I think about who I couldn't live without, who I couldn't manage my life without. And it sounds a bit dramatic. And I'm not saying that without these people I would... Actually, I am saying without these people, my life would be incredibly difficult. Some people would call them their circle of trust. I love the idea that you have this inner circle of trust and you have other people around you. Now, you know, as well as I do, you've been there, I've been there. You may even still be there, where sometimes the people around you just suck the life out of you. It's almost like they're psychic vampires. A while back, second husband, we lived with his mother. His mother was getting on in years, and husband had left. A long story made short, we moved in. Myself, my husband, second husband, and my youngest daughter at that time, or my only daughter at that time. And we moved in, and she was lovely. Don't get me wrong, she was a lovely lady, and everybody liked this sweet old lady. Except no one got the fact that she almost fed on other people's drama. That's the only way I can say it. And she's passed away now, so I don't want to talk ill of the dead at all. However, her personality, if you like, was one where she just sucked the life out of you. And when I realised that this was happening, 3 or 4 rows in where I was exhausted emotionally and physically and bawling my eyes out, and she was almost happy as if she'd been fed. It's the only way I can explain it. I stopped to think and realised that actually I was allowing this to happen, that this wasn't her fault. It was something within her personality, if you like, that she required that sort of drama or dramatics to make her feel alive. And I realised that I fed that. I quite happily played into that. There's a book I read many years ago, and I wish I could tell you what it's called. I wish I could tell you who wrote it. It was about how you feed other people's monkeys and how we carry them around on our shoulders and feed them rather than give them back. And I'm going to talk more about feeding monkeys in another broadcast. But this lady definitely gave me all her monkeys and I fed them. So I had to take responsibility for the fact that I was doing that. And then I looked around me and I'd been working my socks off, working as hard as I could. I was looking after the kids. I was picking them up, bringing them home from school, sometimes having to go back to work. I would have to get them to after school activities. And then when husband came home, he would come home late. There was clearing up to do, and, he cooked, he did his bit, but for some unknown reason, it always appears that us women tend to almost do more. And the other thing that would happen was I'd have friends on the phone who had these issues, who had these problems, and I would be coaching them, I would be talking to them, and I'd end up in bed exhausted. So I'm sure you understand that scenario where you feel that everybody has put a line in somewhere and is draining you psychically, physically, emotionally, every way possible. And you're not sure whether you actually want some of these people in your life or not. It all becomes a bit too much. So I sat down one day and decided I wasn't going to feed these people's monkeys anymore. I was not going to be drained dry by other people's problems. And that's not to say I didn't care about them or I didn't understand, but I had to take responsibility for myself. So what I did was I actually started drawing circles. I put me right in the middle for the first time ever in a sort of graphical way, and I do this big circle and I put me in the middle, and I stopped and I just wanted to know, who in that circle do I want? Who in that circle are the people that I trust with my life? Who are the people I could turn around to, and if I was in real serious problem, they would be there for me? So I went through all the people I knew. I had a big list of all the people that were in my life, you know, friends, family, colleagues, all of them. And you know, for years I thought, oh, look at all these people I know. I'm obviously very popular and all the rest of it. Until I started moving people into that inner circle. And trust me, you soon find out who you really can consider a friend when you do this exercise. So I started moving all these people into the middle of my circle. And actually what I ended up with was no more than I would say 5 or 6 people in that tight-knit group. And they weren't all my family. They weren't all the people I thought it would be, but it was the people I trusted with me. And some of them I don't see very often. Some of them, you know, there's a couple of them I see maybe twice a year. However, I know if I picked up the phone tomorrow, they would be there for me. And not all my family would be like that. So not all my family are in that tight-knit circle in the middle. And that's what I call my management team. These are the people that keep me going. These are the people that want to listen to me when I've got an issue. These are the people who, if I needed somewhere to escape to, I could pick up a phone. And these are the people I trust, I love, I have fun with. They fit my values and they get me. And I would say to you that this is an exercise you need to do. You need to figure out who is in that circle of trust for you. Who are these people that you can identify? And don't get me wrong, I did not chuck out the rest of the list, because after that, I then did another circle around my management team circle, my circle of trust, and looked at the people that actually I do want in my life. I do enjoy their company. I like them. They make me laugh for all sorts of reasons. And although they take from me a lot of the time, or they may be what I would call irresponsible at times, or don't turn up on time, if at all, those sorts of things, I kept them in the outer circle because I didn't want them out of my life. But I wanted to recognise where they felt in my life, where they fitted. I needed to know who they were, so that when I needed people, I could look at it and go, I love these people to bits, but they aren't going to help. And it's my inner circle I go back to every time. And people have come and gone from that inner circle over the years, but I know who they are, and I know that they have my back and I have theirs. And I would say to you that in this time when you're looking around, you're thinking, people aren't listening to me, I've become invisible, no one hears what I'm saying, I'm not even sure I know what I'm saying anymore, I'm exhausted, emotionally, physically exhausted. That's the time to sit down and work out who is in your circle of trust. Who are your management team? Who are the people you could not do without? Who you could not go without at least talking to them every month, every 3 months, that you absolutely know without a doubt are part of your life and are in your life for you. Okay? And in another broadcast, we'll start talking about how you manage the outer circles. I have quite a few circles in my, what I call my management of people in my life, because it's my responsibility to manage the people in my life and how they affect me and what I can and cannot give to them. And I think you need to understand who you want to manage and how you want them to be part of your life. And as I say, it's not about chucking them out with the you know, baby in bathwater syndrome. It's just about putting them where you know they are. So, and when you've done that, they can't let you down. If you know they're not in your circle of trust and they don't turn up for a meeting, or they're not there when you need someone's shoulder to cry on, they can't let you down because you have no expectation of that. You know who they are. You know what they're like. But you also know if you want to go out for a night and have a really good laugh and they turn up, you're going to have the best night you've ever had. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Work on your circle of trust, your management team. And in another broadcast, we'll look at the other circles. So that's my management team. You work on your management team and try and figure out who it is who's sucking the life out of you. And if you know who they are, shunt them back a bit. Give them back their monkeys. Stop giving them permission to drain you dry. Okay? So on that note, I'm going to leave you. And I hope you have a great week. And what I'd like to say to you is, feed your own monkeys for a change. Okay, bye.
Hip-hop vaquero, you want my styles like hierro, dancing on my words on the edge of sombrero. The gringos, sick flows, yes, the cockatoy. Kill Agnes with a glance from the pupil of annoyed. A mic stored in underwear drawers of my dresser. Rhymes from True God, yours is child of a lesser. A lowercase G hanging under the bar. My G's above and beyond.